It's Wednesday night. Time for Nerd Radio.
This Transformer is cool. This Transformer is cool.
Oh, it's Nerd Radio, back wherever you're getting your podcast. Also on Rift 2 HD2 radio station.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Wednesday nights, that's why that says Wednesday nights.
I was really confused. I was like, whoa, is it Wednesday night?
We've been in here how long? No, it's Wednesday nights at 10
I want to go home!
I missed a
Let
Zoom
me go home, Chuck!
No.
I missed a very important Zoom call I was supposed to be on.
Oh, yeah.
We all did. Jesus. Yeah, so we're back with some more Nerd Radio. We're going to talk about some video game stuff to wrap up. And yeah, something that Hall Gaming actually in the chat on the Twitch stream, which we are on Twitch Wednesday afternoons around 11:30 if you want to watch us do this live. He had told me this morning his nephew got a hard drive, a portable hard drive, and for his PS4 and filled it up with games, and then got a PS5 and hooked it up, and I guess it worked.
Really?
Like he didn't have to re-download the games. He just hooked it up, and the PS5 was like, "Yep, those are your games," and he could play them on them. But he was asking me, he's like, "You need to tell Al about that because I wonder if that would sell him on the PS5." I was like, "I don't know. I guess I'll find out."
Well, I will say I'm already sold on the PS5. I'm just not in a hurry.
Yeah.
You know, like you were talking earlier in the show about the game that gets you to whatever. Yeah.
Right.
You know, I feel like a lot of times there's a game that gets you to sign up for brand loyalty, I guess.
Yeah,
but
for
like,
sure.
I'm a PlayStation guy. I'm never going to get an Xbox.
Yeah.
Because I mean, you play games enough where you have both. I
Yeah.
don't.
Well,
I'm only one.
Yeah. I don't have enough time to
So-
play enough games now to actually legitimize having both, but I still
Well, you're going to have one. Yeah, don't even act like you're not going to spend the money on
exactly.
it. But I will eventually get a PS5. That's cool. Of course, by the time I buy a PS5, Sony's going to be like, nah, you got to rebuy them.
Right.
You know?
Rebuy your games.
Like, I don't remember. I don't know if this is true or not, but one of the other ones, like maybe it was a PS3, there was some sort of patch you could do. This might not be true. I may be remembering this wrong, but I think there was some sort of patch where you could still play the PS2 games, and then like Sony ended up disabling it, or the next like version of the PS3 that came out, it wouldn't work anymore. There was something where it was like
sound familiar.
Yeah, where like they had the backwards compatibility where you could play PS1 games, but it was like too backwards compatible. Like, oh, gee, we still want to sell PS2s. Guess what? You can't do that anymore.
And then they started. I saw it with the Vita. They started selling the PS1 games digitally for like $10. And
Right.
It's like, okay, well, why? Let's disable the backwards compatibility of you actually playing the physical disc because it's too troubling and too much to keep up with for the emulator.
And not making enough cash.
We'll just sell you a game you bought 10 years ago for $10, and there we go.
Bitch.
Right. Speaking of new games, too, Mass Effect Legendary Edition finally has a release date of May 14th. So you've got until May 14th to save up your cash so you can ignore it again.
Yep.
Outback.
Way ahead of you.
I
skipped right to the ignoring part.
I have to agree with Callie from Checkpoint XP, who said on Twitch or on Twitter that I can't wait to buy it and make all the exact same decisions I made the first time again.
Oh, that's what she was tweeting about.
Yeah.
I saw that tweet, but I didn't know what she was referencing.
Yeah, because it's there's so much open world, not so much open worldness, but so many decisions to make that can either kill some of your crew members or make you fall in love with your crew members as a BioWare game. There's crew members that they're not gonna improve them. It's kind of just a rehash of the original game. So I'm still gonna hate that guy.
The guy that scrubs the toilet, he's still scrubbing the toilet. So if we kill him, who cares?
He's still a jerk.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, James is in love with all of his crewmates.
Yeah. I'm like, hi, are you the new crewmate? I think I love you.
That's how I play Persona. I try because you can get a girlfriend. I romance everybody.
Oh, really?
And then on Valentine's Day, they all show up and realize what's going on, and they hate me.
Oh, no. You get
Yeah.
busted. It's like the old Fresh Prince of Bel-Air trying to be at two places at one time.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so I told you before the break that Magic the Gathering now on your phone.
Yeah,
you
I'm
can
excited
play
to hear about this.
Magic the Gathering. What is it called? Because I downloaded it on my phone.
I feel like this will let me be a Magic the Gathering fan, but closeted. Nobody will know.
Nobody, yeah.
My fandom.
Oh, it's just called Magic on my phone here. It's quite a download. It's not in the gigabytes, but it does take it a couple minutes to download all the resources for it.
I'm a patient man.
I have to say Arena, Magic the Gathering Arena is what you're looking for. I have to say that the interface, it's kind of like getting Among Us. Like you can get it on the PC, you can get it on the phone, you can get it on the Switch, and there's one that kind of plays the best. I feel like it plays better on the PC.
Probably does.
But it is cool that you can play it on your phone. Like you need more screen because Magic cards have writing on them that you need to be able to read. for
Oh
different things.
man, and I'm gonna have to go get the iPhone Plus or whatever.
You're gonna have to get a giant phone so you can play Magic the Gathering, but it does have all the functionality of the one on the PC. In fact, I logged in as myself that I played on the PC, and all my decks were there, and all the stuff that I unlocked over.
So
the
I could
last
play
couple
you
years.
in Magic the Gathering Arena on my phone, and you could be playing on your PC at home.
Yeah.
Oh, that's very cool.
Yep, absolutely. It's got the daily quests on there and the whole 9 yards. So if you've been waiting, it's worth
So,
checking out now.
Do you have to pay money to get cards?
No, that's part of the fun.
That's the one question, because
You can buy the cards with real people money, but you can also there are daily quests that will give you credits that you can then cash
Then
the credits in
spend
for
and buy.
packs of cards.
Okay.
And then also the thing that I love about Magic the Gathering Arena is if there is a specific card that you need for your deck, you can spend credits to just create one.
Really?
Yeah, you can go through the library and find the cards you need, and then just like every time you buy a pack of cards, that's what it is. You get a wild card of a common, uncommon, rare, something like that, and you can trade that wild card in for a card you want.
Oh, that's cool. And I think you were saying before too, if you buy physical Magic the Gathering cards,
Yep.
like let's say at your comic shop,
Yep.
I come in and I buy a couple packs. There's a code or something I can enter to where I'll get cards
Yep.
for my arena.
Yeah, it won't give you I don't think it gives you the exact same cards in Arena, but I think like if you buy a booster pack, you get a card with a code that gives you a booster pack.
But
in
yeah,
Arena.
that's works for me. It's like getting double the value for your cash, man.
Yep.
I do feel like that's like almost there though, because I didn't know any of that, and I think it's a brilliant idea. It's
Sure.
sort of like how Marvel does the digital version of the comic books. Go
Yeah.
ahead and buy the physical copy, get
Yep.
the digital one for free if you want to rip the little sticker off and punch in the code. It would be brilliant to have it completely mirror your collection that you have
Oh, that'd be awesome.
at home.
Yeah. Oh, very cool.
Well, starting with, obviously they didn't have codes before, but
Right.
if your pack somehow you were able to redeem everything that you bought, you could have it in that world too.
It is. I talked about it like a year or two ago on NerdRadio. It might even been with Jefferson when he was still here on the show when I started playing it. But
It wasn't with me.
I really appreciate playing it on my PC because like you don't got to go anywhere. You can do it from the comfort of your home. You can do it from the toilet. You can
don't
do
got to
it from
bring
bed.
your cards anywhere with you.
I don't
It's
have to
all
deal
right
with
there.
the smell of somebody that
opponents.
somebody that doesn't shower enough.
Yeah, so
Oh,
you think she
God.
actually is like a mountain troll?
Right.
What?
Just 'cause
You,
live in
you
Mount
just you
Clemens.
just spoke volumes about Magic the Gathering players, and you're like, man, I'd rather play on the toilet because the smell out there. Jesus Christ,
I'm
it's
not
way
saying-
better in here.
I'm not saying all of them. I'm saying that there's usually an outlier in any gaming store you go to that you're like, that guy has some social problems.
Play your card, outlier.
So getting into Magic the Gathering Arena,
Yeah.
I assume they start you off with like a starter deck, because when you buy Magic the Gathering cards, you usually buy like a starter deck, which
Sure.
is a bunch more cards than a booster pack.
When you start out, they'll give you, if I'm remembering correctly, whatever the most current, like they cycle through what used to be
Yeah.
called Type 2, but is called Modern. They'll cycle whatever the most current booster packs are for the last like 3 sets or what is usable, and then everything else is not usable in Modern. But it has, because it's been around for a couple years, it has a legacy version where you can use all the cards that are in Magic the Gathering Arena back for the last like 4 years or something. But when you start, it will give you 5 starter decks, one of each color.
Okay.
And then I think it gives you a couple of starter decks of combined colors to play with as well.
Okay.
To start you
And
off.
it costs $0 to get started, or
No, yeah, it's nothing. There's not a
nice.
monthly subscription. It doesn't cost anything to get started. You just sign up and start playing.
Magic the Gathering Arena.
Yep.
All right.
Here's something I'm curious about, James, and
Yeah.
maybe you don't have an answer to this question, but just something I'm curious about. What is it about Magic the Gathering that calls to you? Because you clearly have an interest in it.
I do.
Yeah.
And to me, honestly, I couldn't personally be interested. I'm not interested in it at all.
I used to play it in junior high.
You did?
Yeah,
Okay.
I
So,
did.
so
I
there's
had
some
a
nostalgia to it
ton
then.
of cards that I
Okay.
gave away to my boss's kid at the time. Here's the thing with Magic the Gathering, and I don't mean to offend anybody by this, but where I was at my point in life when I was playing Magic the Gathering, if I wanted to ever see a woman naked,
Right.
or to ever have a woman touch me in my private parts, I needed to give Magic the Gathering up.
Right.
And now that I'm at a point in my life where I'm like, I don't give a F what anybody thinks. I don't want to go through the whole hassle of going to, and buying cards and keeping cards. And I have enough stuff to where I'm already probably borderline hoarding toys.
Sure.
I don't need to also hoard Magic the Gathering
Sure,
cards as well. But if I can have it on my phone,
Right.
And I can play against people, and I can build like a cool deck, and it's stuff that I can do to interact with people in my community on my Twitch channel and that stuff too. I'm all for it. And I don't know. I like the idea of a wizard's duel.
Yeah.
I don't know. Ever since being like a young kid, probably watching The Sword in the Stone, and there's like a wizard's duel. Ever since then, I'm like, I love the idea of wizards going toe to toe, but I also hate Harry Potter. So I'm a weird, combination of all these different things. But I think a lot of it is the fact that I used to play Magic the Gathering. I thought it was fun, but I also saw like some of the kids in the junior high. They struggled more with social abilities, and I knew I was excelling. I'm able to talk to people on a different level than these guys when it's just like nerd stuff and things like that. And I'm like, I have to part ways because I want to lose my virginity and not hold on to it for all eternity.
Don't we all?
Essentially.
I mean, didn't we all?
But that was pretty much the main gist of it.
Okay,
Just,
no, that makes sense. Cause it's something I just kind of hit me like every time he brings up Magic the Gathering. You're like, tell me more, Charles.
Right?
Yeah. Well, I wish I
Lead me down the path.
Yeah. Well, I told you guys about a year ago that you can play the Pokemon card game on your phone.
Yeah.
And it's pretty much exactly what you remember as far as Pokemon cards go.
And see, Pokemon doesn't excite me as much
No.
as Magic the Gathering. I love the Wizard's Duel.
Yeah.
I love the idea like I could cast a crazy spell or summon a
Yeah.
monster, and I can do it on my phone in on a digital platform instead of dealing cards.
Oh, yeah.
And I feel like once you're dealing cards and you're in that physical combat, cheating is possible. You can
Sure.
stack the deck, or you could do things or play a card the wrong way, or then there's disputes or arguments over not tapping the mana properly and that type of stuff. Like in the digital realm, guess what, baby?
Yeah.
What the computer says is the rules. So there's no cheating.
It is
I don't know
fascinating.
why I'm holding my phone up at you, Al. I just want to show you Schwarzenegger as the commando.
It was very aggressive.
Yeah, I'm like, digital, the phone rules, Al.
Listen to the chopper.
Yeah.
What the phone says goes.
What the phone says is the rules, Al.
Yeah.
I feel like when my group of friends all discovered Magic, the thing that drew us in was it's trading cards with a game around it.
Yeah.
Like you would collect baseball cards as a kid and they would have stats on the back, but there wasn't like a game you could actually play with
That's
these
true.
things.
I think you're hitting on something big, too, because I was always like a trading card collector.
Yeah.
That's baseball cards a little bit, but I love
I get those Marvel
X-Men cards,
those
Marvel
X-Men cards.
masterpieces. Oh, my God. Yes.
And they'd put their power ratings on the back, but there wasn't an actual game you could put together with those numbers.
Yeah.
And you always wanted to like, man, I wish I could play Jean
Yeah.
Grey against Mastermind and all this stuff. So I think that really tapped into like, yeah, you've got trading cards, but also the more trading cards you get, the cooler the game becomes and the better, the
the
better
more
your chances of
powerful of a
winning it.
wizard I can be. Harry Potter.
Now,
Yo, Wizard James.
Now, if that's a part of Magic the Gathering that you're not a fan of, the arms race of having to spend the
We're
money.
talking it that way.
It is. It's an arms race. Whoever spends the most money wins
Yeah.
at Magic the Gathering. It's not, a bona fide rule. You can still be more skillful than the guy who spent the most money, but he's going to have the best resources.
Yeah, but if I can outsmart him with my cards, then suck it. Voldemort.
But if you're not a fan of the arms race of that, there is another game that is currently in beta testing called Chroma Bloom. And
Chroma Bloom.
it's created by a guy. It's an online game, I believe. It's an online card game, and I believe it's on the phone as well. It's like Hearthstone or Legends of Runeterra or Magic. And the gimmick behind this game is when you get it and you sign up for it, you have every card right from the get-go.
Okay.
The only thing that they are asking you to buy is cosmetics for your character or for your cards to make your cards look cooler.
Okay.
But yeah, Chroma Bloom. I haven't tried it out yet. I actually just looked into it last night.
So that means all players are equal.
They're on
the
equal
battlefield, 'cause
standing.
everybody has the same cards. Just some might look flashier than others.
Yeah, exactly. You're on equal standing as far as whoever's best at the game and best at building a deck, which is really where I fall short. I can play the game pretty respectively, but I don't build decks very well at all. I have to, especially, I know Magic players hate that, but these days I have to go online and net deck and find like, okay, what's the good deck in red and blue.
Yeah.
And then I'll put all the cards together. Well, give me the recipe.
And that's
for
frowned
the thing
upon?
that works.
And the,
They hate that.
Oh.
They absolutely hate
What was
that.
the internet made for?
You didn't
know?
You didn't
Boobs.
build that.
Okay.
Well,
You got me. I can't argue with that. I
He does have-
cannot argue with that one little bit.
He does have you there.
Because I would go boobs over that anytime.
All right. Well, we've got one more story to get to, and this is where, as I said earlier, Al Beck is going to have to be our authority on this one.
Well, I might as well just wrap up the show then.
EA Sports has announced this week that they're coming back to college football. They're going to put out the first college football game that they've done since, I think, 2013.
I didn't realize they stopped doing college football. So
Yeah,
this is like NCAA?
Yeah, the
Okay.
NCAA game. That's the
Yeah.
funny thing, because you were saying I'm going to be the authority on that. I also didn't realize they stopped making the NCAA
right.
game.
They stopped making them, huh?
Yeah. I mean, like, I don't know if this ever actually panned out, but I think the cool thing about having both, at least I had heard, was that they would be a companion together.
Sure.
So, like, if you really wanted to, if you wanted to play the, like, I'm this player and you want to do their whole career rather than doing a whole team and a franchise or whatever, I guess you used to be able to, like, play in college and then transfer that character over to Madden.
Interesting.
I'd heard that.
I
I
don't
don't
have
know.
any of the names though. I thought college games there was some sort of rules.
Well, this is like a
where-
create your own player. Like,
Oh,
you get to
okay,
be
okay.
J-
Yeah.
James,
I
the
gotcha.
running back, and then you can start your college career and then carry him over and play him in the pros or whatever.
Okay.
I don't know if that ever actually went into practice or if someone had lied to me. I always liked that idea of it.
Right.
But
I had, from what I'd heard from people that are really into the football games, the college football ones were always better.
That's what my friend, my sports guy friend would always talk about. He liked the NCAA game better than
Yeah.
the
I had
Madden.
heard that too. That's actually why when I came across that story in the prep service, I thought it was worth mentioning on the show, and I
Sure.
sent it to you to begin with.
Yeah, it would be like finding out that they're not going to make a WWE 2K22, but they are going to make a SmackDown. You know, it's like,
Yeah,
oh yeah, the
that's a good way to
SmackDown
put
games
it.
were way better. So
Yeah.
I'm interested in that.
But it is funny because you had brought up the whole using the names thing.
Yeah.
On that story, they said that right now EA does want to use actual players' names and likenesses.
Yeah.
But that could change based on
Doesn't have
NCAA regulations.
Hey, somebody something. Somebody's
Right.
gonna have to make some cash somewhere.
Right. So it may end up being just number whatever, and they basically base it on a person, but they don't use their name or what they look like. But they are going to have like 100 different teams on it based on current uniforms and playbooks.
Yep.
Just whether or not it's going to be the real players, that's still up in the air. EA wants to do it, but NCAA may not let them. But so it is kind of cool. If some people, just like some people rather would watch pro football and some people would rather watch college football.
That's the thing that I'm curious about because I don't watch any football. But like, why is there college football and pro football? Like, what is the difference between the two? Other
the
than
fans of them, the ones who are kind of purists, prefer college football, and I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that these kids, at least officially, aren't being paid anything.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit different. So it's less.
Because it's also you look at other sports like baseball and like the National Baseball League or something like will decide that like, well, we're just not going to play this year, and everyone's like, oh no, it's like, well, there's minor league. Like
Right.
y'all watch college football, why don't you watch minor league
Well,
baseball?
I feel like the minor league baseball is directly tied into professional baseball.
Yeah.
So usually, like, they're farm teams, but they're minor league. And I don't know enough about sports, so don't take this as any authority on anything.
Sure.
But I feel like that's a little different. As in college, like, there's still college baseball.
Yeah.
There's still college baseball teams, but college baseball is different than minor league baseball or AAA ball and that kind of stuff. But college is college. I'm sure there's still minor league football that's around, but it's not as widely known or popular. And then, the college feeds the NFL,
Yeah.
much like the minor league baseball feeds. I don't know, whatever.
Yeah.
Even going for this conversation, but
Yeah. Well, college sports, obviously basketball and football are both really big.
Yeah.
And followed by sports fans. So
Why isn't arena football bigger? Sounds more fun.
I don't
it does.
know.
But I'll tell you right now, I had more fun playing Mutant League football.
Mutant League football. Now
than
we're
playing
talking.
Madden or NCAA football.
Yeah. Remember Mutant League hockey? That
You're
was
damn
great
right.
too.
I remember it, especially when you fall into the ice.
Yeah. Those little holes. And
Yeah.
The net had spikes all around it. That was good stuff.
Why isn't there a professional Mutant League football?
That's true.
I'd watch.
I don't
that.
think there's professional mutants.
Oh. Can we get on that? Science?
Science.
We got-
Come on, science.
We got spinach writing emails. Can we get some professional mutants to play sports for my enjoyment?
Right.
What if we combined football with wrestling. It could be the WFL.
No, wait, no. We'll call it the XFL.
That's way better. That's way better.
Yeah.
I love the sounds of it. That's some good shit right there.
Right. Yeah. Well, this was going to be great.
During
But, you know,
kickoff, murder is legal. Go.
Well, then here's the thing. Somebody just called me Mac in the chat. Just said, "You mean rugby?"
Yeah, except no pads.
Oh,
Like,
no
that's a
pads.
man sport right there, rugby.
Can we wear a cup?
I don't know. I think you can, but
Do you wear a cup I got to search. That.
yeah, I
I
mean,
would
yeah,
wear
I
a
feel
cup.
I would too, but I also wouldn't play rugby.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not enough of a man to watch rugby.
I don't even know where you could find rugby.
Do rugby players wear cups? Do you mean a box? No, they're not permitted.
You can't wear.
Keep it for the cricket season where it's really needed. No hard plastic protective items are allowed.
That sounds like a bro dude, right?
What?
Rules for rugby.
Protective cups should be the norm for hard hitting.
Because you wear a cup in football.
Yeah.
Right.
I feel like any kind of contact sport, you should wear a cup.
I wore a cup when I backyard wrestled, for
Yeah.
God's sakes.
If you value, as a man, if you value your genitalia, you should wear a cup in any contact sport, even not a contact sport.
Oh yeah, this has
Baseball.
got to be a joke post. It's on
Okay.
Quora. It's like no hard plastic. They wear a cloth jockstrap to keep it out of the way. Women are allowed padding over the breast. Underwired bras are banned too. That can't be real. First of all, is there women's rugby?
Oh, I bet there is.
Man, this is I'm not going to make you guys come down this rabbit hole with me, but I'm going to be looking this up for the rest of the day.
Uh-oh.
What in the world is
We
going
come
on
in
the
next week and Chuck's like,
world of rugby?
he's talking in rugby slang.
Right. I turn into
Howdy, gents. You catch the valley? I don't even know what they
turn
say
into some
right
soccer hooligan.
there. Yeah. He's like, ole, 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 ole. We're like, Chuck, what do you do? This is Radio, man.
Yeah, I'm super. I'm doing a rugby show
Did
now.
you hear about
He,
what the...
he rebrands the show the Nerd Scrum.
All right, follow us on social media at Nerd Radio 101. Of course, thank you for downloading the podcast. If that's how you're listening, make sure you like and rate and review us wherever you find us. Find us over on YouTube. Give us a follow there and like and rate and review us. And meet us back here Wednesday afternoons on Checkpoint XP's Twitch stream and, of course, on the podcast page, WRIF.com.